Hi and welcome to Teliax, and today in this video we're going to set up a PBX, and for our example we're going to use the 3CX phone system. Now setting up a PBX is actually fairly simple. It's pretty straightforward. We're going to go through it here fairly quickly. It has changed over the last couple months, which is why we're doing a new video on it. So just kind of bear with me here. We're going to go to sites. I'm going to add a new site. And we'll create this for a new customer, and we have to have a DNS extension. So I'm going to call this one widgets. So that'll be the name of the company is widgets, and I already have voice.t2id.com, which is my DNS. So I'm just going to create this widgets as the DNS extension. For the access control list, you have to have something in there. You have to have the IP address where that PBX is located so that the calls can come back and forth. So I'm going to put in the IP address, and we have to allow outbound country codes, otherwise no calls can be placed outside. So I'll add at least the United States, and I'm not going to add any countries unless that customer is going to specifically be calling that country. And then I'm going to make it 10 channels on here, and I'll add the caller ID name and number at a later time, and I'm going to go ahead and make this active. So now I'm going to have a new site, and we can start editing and adding to the site. So I'm just going to go over here to add, and I'm going to add a SIP trunk. So the SIP trunk is going to be widget headquarters. There's a new option to disable comfort noise if you want to do that. Channel limit, again, I'm going to make that 10. Now I'm going to be creating the login and the password for this SIP trunk. So you want to make this decently secure. You don't want to have it login and password or something 1, 2, 3. Make sure that you have good solid passwords on here. So I'm going to just come up with a few things here. And for my password, I'm going to do just simple here for the time being, but you get the point. Now, contact IP, there's some phone systems that require contact IP. Timeout, I'm going to make sure my timeout is quite a bit shorter. I'm just going to make it a 20-second timeout. I haven't set up a failover yet, but I could have this so that if their phone system is down, I could fail over to somebody's cell phone, for example, or maybe they have a landline somewhere. And the caller ID number, again, I don't have that set up yet. We haven't created a phone number for them, so we'll skip that. Access control list is going to default to what I had originally when I set up the site. So I'm going to go ahead and click on enter here. So now we have the SIP trunk set up, and we need to add a phone number. So I'll just create one here in Denver. Oops. Widget main 720. All right, so we have some 720 phone numbers here. I'm just going to grab one. I'm going to select enter. Now I'm going to go back and edit that phone number. Now I can set the destination to go to that SIP trunk. Go ahead and hit enter. So now I have the phone number. Destination is set to the SIP trunk. SIP trunk's got the login and password. And now any calls coming into that phone number will be routed to that SIP trunk. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to bring this up so I have access to this, and I'm going to go over to the 3CX phone system. I'm going to go to VoIP providers. So I'm going to go to add VoIP provider. I'm going to scroll down to generic. And we're going to change this to generic VoIP provider. And we can call this anything we want. I'm going to call it Teliax 2. We'll go next. We need the SIP server host name or pass name, which is that site name that we set up. That's the DNS name that we're going to use. So paste that in there. Go ahead and click on next. External phone number. We have the phone number that we used here. I'm not going to use the one at the beginning of it. SIP user ID. Well, that was that login that we created. So I can just copy that, paste that over there. We need the password, which is the password I created. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that over into here. And again, we're going to tell 3CX that we're going to allow up to 10 channels. Go on next. Where do we want calls to come from during normal office hours? So I'll probably just set it up for a extension. Go next. And now we need to set up the outbound rules. So I'm going to set up calls with a length of 7, 10, or 11. So I'll get regular phone numbers, ones that have a area code and a phone number, and ones that have 1 plus an area code and a phone number. I'm going to send that to this route. I'm not going to strip any digits, and I'm going to say finish. So now we have that route set up. Now, right now, it just kind of put it into my whole list of rules here. So I can go to my outbound rules and move that one to the top, make sure that it's always going to work. And that is it. As long as you have the proper ports forwarded, everything is going to work right, and inbound and outbound calls are all going to work properly. So setting up any PBX is going to be pretty much the same, because really all you need is the IP, the login, and password, and you can see just how easy it is to create a SIP trunk using Ivy and then configure most phone systems for use with Ivy as a SIP trunk. So thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time.